letters, one word. Yeah, 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 yeah. Happy Monday, boys and girls. Bugatti. Previously on Kimba TV. The only way that I would close it is if I thought that the 45-46 short wasn't in play. It would depend on the open interest on a swing fail here, but probably not there. It would be a swing fail on 38.5 that would make me not short 45-46. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. How we doing? The Bugatti is Bugatti, y'all. Happy Monday, y'all. The math is the math, y'all. The math is the math, y'all. Schwiggity. Schwaggity. Get nasty. Get nasty. You know what I'm saying? Lee Kwok says Boogamma. Boogamma indeed, brother. Boogamma indeed. Everybody have access to this shit? Because if you do, it would have saved you lots of money. Goddamn. 49.20, 49.30 Boogamma. Holy shit. The fuck? Exclamation VIP, exclamation YouTube, exclamation get nasty. 49.30, 49.20, no problem. Once again, Boogamma. Quit playing with me, y'all. Look at that. 49.30, 49.20, Boogamma. No surprises, right, Lions? We Gucci? Nobody talking about what the fuck, why it dumping? Pixel perfect, pixel perfect, pixel perfect, Bugatti money. We don't get bullish until the bullish retest, get nasty. Y'all know what it is. Anyways, how we doing, y'all? How we doing? We're going to let Tucci up, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to let Tucci up. Watch your eyes. Hayato says, finally some dumping on S&P. Yes, but do you know why? Hayato-san. Hayato-san, the math is the math. Look at the Boogammas. 49.30, 49.20. This showed up, Boogammas, there you go. Did you catch this? Like an hour ago? This was probably up a while ago. But does that blow your mind or what? 49.30, 49.20. Guess where we're at right now on S&P? 49.30, 49.20. We haven't tapped 49.20 yet. Ikendobi says, over the weekend, I saw that 42220 was tapped. I was wondering if that was a good long to take. 42 twos. Yeah, I don't know if you saw my Discord post last night. Yes, I was kind of hinting at that. So pixel perfect golden pocket and smaller time frame bull divs. So yes. But yeah, I shared a picture of a symmetrical of this triangle in the Discord. So yes, 42.222 would have been a good long, and you're probably like all of this was probably longs that got stopped out because, you know, if you were in a long and you were going to play a breakout, you needed a bullish retest. So all that is probably like longs getting stopped out in profit type of shit. Alrighty, so now we'll see if it's gonna do a bearish retest, get back in, and then that's gonna be interesting. But give it up for that line. We've had that line for quite some time. That's the sweep level from all the way over there. And also pixel perfect on this trend line. So kind of like the same thing. We don't get too bearish on the loss or the penetration, but it's the bearish retest. Same thing that we talked about here. We don't get too bullish on the penetration. We get bullish on the bullish retest. But yeah, I mean, as always, we are in retail arena. So bing, 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 bing. Everybody just kind of getting slapped around. We're going to let Tuche up. How y'all doing? Domzer says, can we take a look into the S&P open interest? Yes. Let me load it up on my own screen. Okay. So I don't know if you can read it. If you have the VIP thing, go look at it right now. But basically, it's negative GEX. It's negative GEX. The GEX is below, and so if you look at the structure, and there you go. So 90 to 100% of gamma is negative and concentrated at one strike. So like a big pile like that. The most probable outcome is it'll go close at the biggest pile. Biggest pile will act as support. So I'm going to scroll this up for you. So Domzer, take a look. GEX is below the price. So the first thing that you pivot off of is the GEX below or above. And then what kind of structure is it? Is it concentrated at one strike? Is it concentrated in multiple? Is it spread out all over the place? Is it like a mountain? Is it an equal distribution? Those are the pivots. So for this, you would think 49.30, 49.20 would act as support. Okay, that's the most highest probable outcome. But what do we always say though? We have to see if there's any new injection of option flow, because that can change the gammas, right? Especially for 0 day. Al Jarir says, was ETH BTC discussed already? No, not really. I mean, all I said was the regular bull div that I wanted is showing up, right? The only hesitation that I have is that we haven't grabbed the golden pocket and the level that I really want. So I think there's still one more sweep. I'm going to try to be patient. Okay, and really the daily bull div is starting to show, but now I'm going to get into the 4 hour. And remember this? I'm keeping an eye on this. I'm trying to keep an eye on it, but I still am anticipating one more move down. But it's pretty much there. We're kind of nitpicking at this point. But you see it, I see it, you know. Who needs a little recap? Shorted right here. Right here, we started talking about, ladies and gentlemen, we might need to long this. Okay? Make sure you guys are keeping up with the highlights. So all of these days' highlights, we start talking about, yeah, we're aiming for 32.31, but we might need to long this. We got filled right here, 39.6. Got round tripped before it went. That's okay. At least we knew that we needed to be longing down here and hit that 0.5. Talked about that 0.5. And still holding the short as was the plan. And looking for possible hedge longs, right? And then we already talked about possible hedge longs. We know where the poor lows are. We know where the poor highs are. Everybody Gucci Magooch. Bravo Trading says, when the long, nothing has changed, brother. The statistically most advantageous will be to take them on the poor lows. So that means 41.3 sweep or the 38.5 sweep. Yep. Now, if you were in the Discord, I gave a little hint about, okay, there could be a nice little pump to sweep the highs again. Golden pocket, bottom of the triangle type of chitty bang bang. But since you got the bearish confirmation on that line, pixel perfect on the sweep level that we've had for a week and a half now, yeah, you would be seriously thinking about all of this getting swept now, especially if it does anything like this. Yeah, so if you're a bull, then you probably need a sweep of a sweep. That's about it. The only problem is you haven't made a lower low. So, you know, you actually, if you're a bull, you probably cannot lose that. But ironically, the only thing that would be bullish would be to sweep that liquidity and then come back inside and then go. If you did that, then you would actually want to short that. You know, and that's probably going to be like golden pocket or some goofy shit. You know what it is, man. Yeah. So it's all about like understanding the probabilities, and it's the if, ands, and the structures. You know what I'm saying? So do you, boo-boo? I'm rooting for you. And if motherfuckers keep gifting subs like how Brutara and all them are doing, we might fuck around and end up with a long stream. Now, if you want to try to get cute with me and say, all right, I'm going to front run, maybe you see like a hidden bull div, or maybe you see, I mean, it would have to be a hidden bull div, right? But you know that it's coming up, it's going to approach the 75786 here. So you could get a scenario where you could wick down that way, get a candle close above 75786, and then game on. You would still need to make sure that you don't get rejected right there, but you know, swing high, swing low, good chance that you could rotate to the 75 or 786, and you're just going to be bing, 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 binging, and just Sato crying left and right type of shit. But you would need to be able to find some sort of like hidden bull div, because that's a higher low. You know, I watched the stream just itching to scalp. I feel you, Metwa. I would say find the levels that look Gucci to you, and then tell me what kind of edge you have. I don't really scalp. You know, do you want to see like, I mean, there's no hidden div. You might be able to get a CVD hidden div. We could watch. So what you want is a higher low price wise, and then this to make a lower low. So you might be able to get a hidden bull div, you know, but by how much, you know? And what is the open interest doing here on this move down? Can you tell that longs are closing? So, and then you also have that concept of S&P where 49.20, 49.30 might act as support. So you could tell me, hey man, I'm going to front run a hidden CVD bull div on Bybit. I'm going to front run the structure of it being a continuation of higher lows. And I'm going to front run it because the open interest is indicating that longs are getting squeezed. And I also have S&P confluence that 49.20, 49.30 might hold. If you explained it to me like that, it might not be too bad. And then your stop loss is a lower low type of shit. You know, so you could do something like this. So, you know, but I would not do that. And I've explained why, and why I rather just wait for down here. So it's up to you. But as long as you have edge and it's logical and you have some sort of reference point to go back and adjust if it doesn't work out, then it's Gucci. Because I think if you're going to take something high risk, you might as well not only juice economically, but you get something out of the trade like price action or probability wise. We had identified these levels. How many people got to see the levels identified? Next time when we see something similar like this, let's do our best to try and remember as much as we can. And like I said, we still have 2 hours and 30 minutes left. So the real full realization would be if this motherfucker actually comes back and closes around here. How many of y'all think it will? How many of y'all think that it'll hit it before and then bounce before daily close? Pop Fib, what's going on, brother? Would you mind doing tiny short-term recap from only last few hours? Well, in terms of like, do you know where I would long next and where I would short next? That hasn't changed since last week. Pop Fib. What we talked about earlier was if you were really bullish, you have another because you've seen this. So, you know, if you want to front run a hidden bull div, if you want to front run a higher low, if you want to front run the swing high, swing low Fibonacci bounce, it's pixel fucking. We talked about it a little. Okay, well, you need a recap. So, yeah, but this is what we're looking at. And so we were joking that it kind of looks like a bearish retest. We were joking that it kind of looks like a bearish retest. I don't know. You tell me. It nuked through the golden pocket. It bounced off of 75786, and it feels like it curved off of the 618. So we'll take it 30-minute candle and 1 hour candle at a time. We have 3 minutes or 4 minutes, excuse me, on this 1 hour candle. So we'll see if the price action rotates back below the 6.6 and starts hourly 30-minute candles below the 6.6, which would confirm that that was the bearish retest. So if you're caught up in terms of BTC and crypto, if you were here last week or if you watched the highlights, nothing really changed. And if you were in the Discord last night, I posted a little thangity thing indicating that we could probably see a little bit of a bounce there. So I don't know how many of y'all saw that in the Discord, but that was in like the regular Bitcoin talk. Not that big of a deal. I think everybody was kind of watching this too. But we don't get bullish on the penetration. We get bullish on the retest. Had that worked, we probably would have been heading to 45 plus, right? That's just like the symmetrical triangle, like target bullshit or whatever, you know? So 45 and change probably is what the target would have been. However, nobody wanted to buy at that price. Just fell through. We're back in the triangle. And then, you know, based off of what we've seen, whether open interest, CVD, RSI, you know that the structure is pretty anticipatory. So we'll see like if this level can hold. We have levels to the upside, levels to the downside. I wouldn't really care so much about playing any of this. I'm shorting 45.46, adding to the short at 45.46, and then looking for a long at 41.3 or 38.5 on a swing fail pattern. So in terms of like BTC, nothing has really changed. It's still in like this retail arena, you know, just wrecking longers, wrecking shorters, bing, 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 bing. Okay, but you know, give it up for that line from last week. It looks like a bearish retest, and then it could, you know, shot back in. So bearish retest of that, bearish, bullish retest of this failed. So, you know, this is the way that if you just got here, there's lions that are longing this from Kimba Box. Okay, and they have an amazing entry. And we were talking about how, okay, well, they've been trying for the last 4 hours to turn 618 into support, get above. Look at this pixel fuckage. So nuke through golden pocket, bounce from 75786. Where does it go? 0.5. It might pivot back, and then this is the pivot point. Does 618 actually confirm as support? Or is that, does it lose it and do bears have an opportunity to turn that into resistance? So you got fibs going on. You got some TPO levels going on. So there's lions that literally have a long from right here, from today. And then there's also lions that are waiting to either TP that long or get into some sort of short on the bearish retest of the triangle. Maybe like a wick fake out back inside type of shit. And then these longers are probably like, nah, fuck that, fuck that, fuck that. This. So any questions, ladies and gentlemen, anything you guys want to talk about? You know me, I still have my short. And you know me, I wouldn't think about a hedge long until it's a poor low sweep. That's it. So not only did it sweep the initial levels that we talked about, this is kind of what I want to see like on ETH BTC. Tafisa says yes. Okay, cool. So yeah, brother, look, we wanted to sweep those levels. I still think it could go lower because I think the full 6.6 gets tapped. But is it starting to make a bull div? Yes. So yeah, this is almost like, this is where you have to, like, this is the level of interest. But this is where you have to start thinking, okay, like it's probably not a bad idea to start thinking about longing, right? And this is all kind of anticipatory. When we pulled this fib, we already talked about we're going to be waiting for down here. You know, do you remember the discussion we had about sub 100s? We looked at the the single prints and sort of imbalances on the, you know, so for traditional markets on this. So there, you could make an argument. So I think, you know, like again, Kimba box, spread them out, maybe make them bottom heavy depending on what your appetite or aggressiveness is. Yeah, but no real surprises. And this is kind of what I want ETH BTC to do, to sweep those levels and hit the golden pocket for real. But you know, everyone and their grandma is going to see this. You see ETH BTC, I want the same thing. So you see this? I want this shit to get swept. Okay, can you, is that good? Or is that good or no? That's not Gucci. That's not Gucci. Okay, but is the, you see the daily bull div? And it's bouncing right on that line. It's kind of like that awkward spot. You know, how aggressive do you want to be? But it's all what we want. So I want the same thing on ETH BTC. But it kind of looks similar, right? So that low got swept. So this is actually good now to go if it wants to go. So I would maybe say that if it, too bad this isn't down here and curving back up. Yeah, I'm going to just be a little bit more patient the same way that I am with ETH BTC. Roger? We're probably anywhere from 12 hours to 2 weeks out in terms of longing Coinbase, longing altcoins. And I don't know. That kind of feels like confluence, but it also could shit both together at the same time. Just straight diarrhea on our faces. But that would be nice if like the whole ecosystem is pumping and you know that those altcoins are going to outperform Biddy, right? Just based off of ETH BTC, DOT BTC, ADA BTC, Link BTC still even shows more room. So that would be nice, right? To have like a little ecosystem bull run. But that could be the thing where BTC goes to like 50, 51, 52, and then I might short that bitch. So, you know what I would love, and then I'm probably not going to get a 38.5 sweep long. So that it could go as low as 37, right? Like 36.8 is a number that we threw out, 36.9. But it could go to like 37, 36, whatever. But basically like a sweep of all the bad lows down there before the 31, 32, rotate back up to 51, 52, and then short that bitch down to the 30s. That would be the fucking easiest thing. Oh my God. And then that whole ride from 38.5 to 50, I would be in a dot link ETH long as well. And then you know, taking ETH BTC, just riding that bitch skyrocketing, seeing how high you know. So like here, just for shits and giggles, let's do this for a second. Okay, so just for shits and giggles, let's just do retracement. So from the 2-year high to down here. So let's just be conservative and take the 6.6, even though I think it'll go. You know what? Fuck it. We're swinging for a home run. So let's just say 7.5. That is 0.07629. 0.07629 times, and then let's say Biddy is at 51,000. Latuche, motherfucker, the math is the math. Bulls, are you satisfied? Or you're kind of freaking out a little bit? What's going on? Fluxy says, I've just added to long on ETH. Let's get it. I love it. I'm rooting for you. Torque says these freaking lines. Would you like me to delete some? Jet the Rock says, why everything changed so fast? Bull 1 hour ago. Why now bear? Well, you should definitely rewind. I don't think anyone was bullish an hour ago, especially once they lost that. All right. It's pixel fucking here. Yeah. What I would say is just get rewind and get caught up. But nobody here was bullish an hour ago. I think what it is they were bullish waiting for here, brother. Yeah, we were all planning, basically all the lions, if they were bullish, we were talking about and planning this long right here. Yeah, so make sure you rewind and get caught up. But we killing it, baby. We juicing, baby. And if it's not making sense, that's all good. Just try to keep up, learn, do your best, learn and improve. That's the most important thing. Shweta says, I'll probably start shaving this long pretty quick. And I wouldn't think you're the only one, which would mean most likely that it could be a cascade down. And that might mean that you would be paying attention to the open interest more so than any other pullback. If you really wanted to nerd out, you would be like, okay, from this bottom, so these candles, how much, what happened? You had 3.9 million in longs open, and you had net 760K in shorts open. 12 hour, here we go. So you can kind of see that 10,000 at 43,075. You can kind of see the 43,375 with 8849Z, but you do also have, 7850, 7636, 77, and then you also have a 9675 at 38,575. Alrighty, so that's on the smaller time frame. Let's go to the 7-day. 7-day is kind of the same thing. You have a whole cluster of Z levels of 75,000, 78, 74, 65, 58, 72, 73, 61, 52, 71, 75, 85, 66, kind of rounding out around 45, 250. But you have a whole bunch starting with 99,879 at 41.8, all the way through about 41.3, 41.275. And then here's your 1 month. There's your 1 month. That 44.2. So you got that, and then here is your all leverage Kingfish. Buzz is asking, what is Z meaning? It's basically the way that you quantify it, because on high block, yellow just means that it's a lot. And so depending on the time frame, you might think that there's a lot up there, but if there's a Z level of 10,000 versus a Z level of say 100,000, that's how you know how much there really is. Is that the right one? Okay, so that's the right one. So there you go. For all leverage on Kingfisher, you've got a big peak at 41.5. Not a big surprise because we're waiting for that 41.389, 41.3 sweep. And then you also have a big peak at 39.3. Okay, this is all leverage. So, not many shorts to grab. You've got a little bit, you got a little bit, you got a little bit, you got a little bit, but it's, the most of it is down this way. Alrighty, not financial advice. You do you. All right, well, I'm going to kick it with you guys for like another 10, 15 minutes, and then I'm out of here. So, yeah, it's looking more like down. Yeah, but the thing is, brother, if you're going to trade spot, then I think it's all right. But if you're trading bing bong ding dong derivatives, then you need to understand more than just obviously that, I think for me, like we've been always planning, if it just goes and grabs the 41.3 sweep, which is where that 41.5 liquidity was, where you guys saw, then I would still short 45.46. But if we went and got the 38.5 sweep and that's bullish there, and it doesn't nuke to 32 right then and there, then I would actually not short 45.46, and I would think maybe it grabs a higher high before we go to the 30 zone. So that's that's probably the way that I would play with it. But Seriola says 1,000,000%. Well, we'll take it level by level and do our best, Seriola. So 41 invalidates the 44.45 short. Correct. Yeah. If no, bouncing at 38.5 with a sweep. Get too picky with the 41 or 38.5, but it could technically go to 41.3 and it completely resets Binance open interest. And if that's the case, then I might have to go full long and I might not be shorting 45.46. I would think that's a small chance, but do you remember we were talking about that? The only way that I would close my short and be more all in on the long is the open interest on Binance. So we'll just do our best. We'll do our best. And then, obviously, if we breach above here and we get outside of the triangle again, then it's always the bullish retest that always gets me bullish. So, but wouldn't close the short, and I would add at 45.46. So I don't want people to get too bearish again and, miss out on the opportunity for a swing fail long at 41.3 sweep. I think we have to be objective. So just because you see me in the short doesn't mean that I'm ready to long 41.3 if it sweeps, Since the daily candle close within these bounds is signaling that there's no clear directional play based on the value area, I wouldn't even go that far. If you could, the candle closes can be misleading. I love candle closes, especially on the higher time frame like yours. But I think looking to see if there's any CVD buildup, whether it's bearish or bullish, would be much better, at least for me, than looking at daily candle closes and concluding that there is no clear direction or whatever else you were saying. There's no right or wrong though. But I would be really careful and I would look into like the CVD and the open interest and how people are opening positions basically. Does no full rotation mean no clear trend? No. So the CCV or the full rotation play is if the daily open is outside of the previous day value area range. So if the daily open had opened down here, meaning outside of value area range, it has a chance to get back inside, turn it into support, and if it turns value area low into support, then you have the full rotation probability of going to the previous day value area high. Same thing to the opposite. If you had a daily open above the previous day value area high and it went back inside and turned that into resistance, you've got a good chance it rotates all the way to value area high. In between these journeys, you're going to have the PDEQ and the PDPOC, the previous day equilibrium and previous day point of control, act as support or resistance. And I think what we've been able to do the last couple of weeks is see these reactions. There's been times where it lost the PD value area high, but it bounced off of the EQ or the PDPOC and it went back up again. Sometimes we've seen it get back inside value area low, get rejected off of the PDEQ or point of control, go back test, turn that into support, pixel perfect, and rotate to the PD value area high. The best is just to see it live with us together. Sounds good, Methodic? No, I think, let me know if you want to reword it. But in terms of the CCV or full rotation, the daily open is inside of the value area low and value area high, which is a inside day. So it's not a full rotation play anyways. That's only applicable if the daily open is outside of the value area ranges. So the full rotation isn't valid in that CCV full rotation sense. But I hope you guys had a great time. I had a fucking blast. What a Boogamma day. Really cool. Last Friday, I would say that it was a divergence lesson. Today was kind of Boogamma shit. You don't get super obvious days like that, and it's obviously probabilities. So overall, I think it was a pretty cool thing. We'll see if the hypothetical imaginary 49.20 gets round trip, but we closed out 50%, so not that big of a deal. Alrighty. All right. Market makers know that I'm dipping, y'all. Here it comes. I hope you guys are ready. Longers, I'm rooting for you. Shorters, I'm rooting for you. Stay safe, Lions. Alrighty. Let's go, man. You got to enjoy this shit. You got to love it. Sato, may I summon you? Can you let them know what happens if they don't use stop loss, Sato? Sato, can you explain to them what happens if they don't use stop loss? He said he's going to smack the shit out of you. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm rooting for all of you. Stay safe. Have fun. Have a great night. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace, everybody.